in this one. Fault called on Schaefer. Looked like maybe her paddle dropped in on the follow through there.
Maybe, or it could have been the fact she kind of cross-stepped in order to find that slicing backhand, but it may have been a foot fault.
That seemed like that point was going to be in her favor.
But immediately you can tell Schaefer has only come to the net just, within, we'll say, 10 to 15 ground strokes in the first 2 points alone. So a little bit of tennis being played out here. Picking her spots wisely.
Do you expect that to continue, the ground strokes?
Yeah, I do. I think some more of that baseline ground strokes. And we've seen Anna Leigh Waters come to the net. So she's going to, it's hard because with Anna Leigh being the aggressor coming up to the kitchen line whenever she's got the advantage, it's almost as if she's already winning in terms of the probability, right? If Schaefer's going to stay to the baseline, she's got to find some ways to score points. That's one way to do it.
Take a luck quarter, too.
Going baseline to baseline with her, it's almost, not to have a Las Vegas pun, but it's almost like rolling the dice a little bit, right?
Just wide, and similar to Ben Johns, when you are matching up against Anna Leigh Waters, they force you to play a perfect game, which can often force you into a lot of errors by default. Because you have to feel like you have to hit that perfect shot.
Yeah, that's very true. But see, that's an error created just off the pressure alone. Anna Leigh Waters didn't even hit a volley. She just sat there almost kind of coming into the transition zone, not fully to the kitchen.
Big serve from Waters.
And an even bigger back air on a return to immediately come up to the kitchen.
She'll stick with the baseline play.
Well, and that's smart on that one, the return too shallow. In order to come to the net immediately, you have to trust your return. Now she's utilizing that middle return like so many have as of recent against Anna Leigh. Trying to take away her angles, and there's one of her new shots. She talked about it earlier today. The slice out of the middle on the forehand side. That new paddle allowing a little bit more control, a little more grit as well.
Slick paddle, might add. That cool logo. Just missed the corner.
Yeah, but Anna Leigh Waters, that's a new version of Anna Leigh right there through that point. Two just absolute cuts on the backhand side. That paddle is definitely allowing her to open different areas of her game. That's a scary thing for everyone else too, Michelle. She was winning already.
Seriously.
She was actually almost 2 on that ball.
8-1. Point.
Sometimes the ball off the net can kind of create a different spin, different bounce that you haven't prepped for.
Point.
And a miss. Waters will take game point. Oh, Waters sneaks it cross court, takes game one, 11. 4:35. 13 minutes for Leigh Waters to take game one. Here's game two. Schaefer with a much better start here to game two than game one.
13 minutes and 12 points having been played, Michelle.
0-0. Side out. 0-0.
Unlucky, the ball off the net. But one of the other cool elements about Leigh really starting to maybe impart her will with the slice is that it allows her to regain control of a point where she might, just maybe, might be behind it in terms of changing that tempo. It gets them back to neutral. That was a great example in that last one.
Point.
Couple of good angles from Schaefer. Couldn't finish it off, though. And Cameron Blackwood is courtside with more insight on what's going on down there with Schaefer. We'll check in with her in just a moment. Just back for Schaefer. Cameron, what's going on courtside?
Just something to note here, Dominique Schaefer just has a pretty aggressive Western grip. And with the pressure that Leigh puts on you, two things, she's gonna need to stay with the ball a second longer to bring it back in, and she definitely has to prepare earlier. She's just getting caught a little bit late because of that grip, and she's been successful in the past, but with someone like Leigh, she has to make sure that she's making those minor adjustments if she wants to stay in this match.
That's very true. Great insight. Thanks so much, Cameron. Look out for that.
Point.
Schaefer right now doing a really nice job just staying with the ball, to Cameron's point, a little bit longer. It's interesting, too. She's come away with a few errors with some high bouncing balls coming her direction. She's done a better job kind of letting that ball sit and then waiting for it to drop down.
So is that Western grip sustainable in pickleball?
It's a great question. We've seen a lot of people kind of go away from it. There was so much conversation just in terms of whether you're, when I first started, it was all about the continental grip. You had to play with the continental grip, and now it's gone the opposite direction where you you want to start to be able to have a more aggressive grip and create a ton of pace. But it's now on the other side where you've become so extreme, at times you're limited in different areas. So for instance, if she were trying to play, we'll say, gender doubles and she's sitting on the backhand side, it's going to be extremely difficult for her to find some sort of one-hand roll on the backhand side because of that grip.
With the Western grip, you're saying?
With how extreme she's playing it.
For Schaefer. I also want to give thanks to our referee crew here on Championship Court for this one. Mary Namey, Leslie Frank, Pam Leslie, and all ladies crew for our final, well, second to last semifinal for the ladies. Is slick in its appearance. The ALW initials.
Leigh just continuing to work towards that backhand side.
8-2.
It's wild to see just how much the shadows have changed just from even this first game to the second.
Oh, that's a nice shot from Dominique Schaefer.
Yeah, and we'll call it almost a little bit more of a unicorn, right? The two-hand backhand cut down on the volley side.
Side out.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, feels like for Schaefer.
8-3. Side out.
Feels as if both Schaefer and Waters from the baseline right now, it's been some shorter rallies.
Point.
And again, right now, they're just going right through the middle, just continuing ground stroke after ground stroke, someone trying to create an angle. Leigh even came in on the most condensed amount of time that she could with the line-to-line shot right through the middle.
Side out. Eight, 4.
Oh, just barely missed. Leigh Waters on the run.
Even questioning it, that's probably one of her best shots, her ability to hit on the run, especially on that forehand side.
So much foot speed from Waters. Oh, just barely missed that one too. Nice recovery from Schaefer.
Timeout receiver.
I mean, the first, the
Seemed
Tom
like-
Brady of pickleball, just keeps coming out of retirement.
Just keeps coming back for more. That'll be so fun to watch.
Side out.
Beautiful San Clemente.
8-5. Point. 9-5. Point.
And Leigh Waters' serve has also gotten that much tougher. They talked
Yeah.
about it earlier, just standing 3 feet behind
10-5.
baseline.
She said it's a mix between the paddle and the altitude, and what a finish for Leigh Waters.